Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
I wouldn't be a teacher, the teacher that I claim to be, if I didn't stand up for all the children, not just my students, but the children of Earth today. And if they say they cannot breathe, I gotta say something. I gotta represent them.
The last straw was when they started making these kids wear masks in gym. And I was like, that's it. I've had enough. Like, we need to do something. So, yeah, here we are.
I've heard stories of children passing out in class, not getting proper education because their teachers are, well, I can't speak to you unless you have a mask on. So denying children of education because of a face diaper, for me, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of kids just can't breathe as well, right? So it's not stopping this virus.
And children are still in a phase of development, so it's unacceptable to have mandates that are against children's proper, healthy, natural development.
Drea, Humphrey here with Rebel News. I'm in a small suburb by Vancouver. It's called Maple Ridge, BC, for the Unmask Our Children protest. It's a small, intimate crowd of about 40 concerned parents and a couple of teachers. We're going to hear why they think it's important for our children not to be masked. Recently, British Columbia released their steps, their plans to opening, and they're saying by July 1st, masks will be recommended. And then the next stage says it will be optional. I don't know what the difference between recommended and optional really is, but I suppose they don't want us to think too hard about it. But anyways, we're going to talk to these parents, these family, and these teachers. And if you're not already following us at rebelnews.com, make sure you do. We give the other side of the story. And because we do that, we're being penalized for it. So we need your contact information so that we keep in touch.
It's like when moms with kids are going, that's it, we're done with the system, I'm running for government, this thing is coming down right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're done. It's over. Moms, when the moms are angry, it's over. And watch out. No, seriously, that was their big, when they look back and they go, well, how do we lose this? We had almost the whole planet. Well, shouldn't have pissed off the moms, guys. I think we made a mistake. We shouldn't have pissed off the moms.
Kathy, why was it important for you to be at this protest today?
Because I cannot leave this planet Earth knowing that this is what's going to happen for my child. So he's my reason. And along with all these other children here, we got to fight for what's right.
Yeah, I've lived in Maple Ridge 4.5 years, and I've been, advocating for our freedoms for almost a year. And I'm so proud just that these guys have had the courage to come out and start this up in Maple Ridge. It's long overdue, and I'm just so happy to see it and watch it grow. So I'm just here to support these guys and give them some love today.
I think it's important to, support the cause of unmasking, the children, not, any of these kind of vaccinations. It's just a bit gone too crazy. And, to keep people's minds opening and more people that attend these events to give them more information.
We are uniting, and we're playing with a new call for action that says, united we stand, we need you for the win. Because we are winning.
It's listening. It's as a soul and as all souls. And I'm going to address it from a spiritual perspective because it's important. And it's time to bring it into the picture. And this is not about religion, but this is about our inner guidance, intuition, the feminine energy. So when I hear the call, I'm just there, I'm showing up, and I'm listening. If I'm needed, we're here to serve. This is what we're here to do at this auspicious time where the old is falling away, the old paradigm is dying and dead, and we're living in the new, we're creating the new. And we're doing it right now. It looks like that, it looks like that. This is what it looks like.
Last April 2020, so much. I think that so many things are happening. There's education, but our whole world is changing. And I just felt in my heart that I had to start speaking about it. I always tell my students that life has always so much more to teach you than I or any teacher. And so I just felt that I wouldn't be a teacher or the teacher that I claim to be if I didn't stand up for all the children, not just my students, but the children of Earth today. And if they say they cannot breathe, I gotta say something. I gotta represent them.
And our children come home and they're like, I can't breathe, Mom. I can't breathe, Dad. I wonder, why is it that we don't hear them the same that we heard George Floyd a year ago?
You two were sort of the masterminds behind this protest. Why was it important for you guys to meet here in Maple Ridge?
Well, we started, our first one was in Abbotsford. My two children, that's where they go to school. So that we want to start there. And his three children, they go to school out here. So that was kind of our next target. Just getting our name out there and just, yeah, we started this, a month and a half ago?
About 2 months ago.
After the school spring break was over. Yeah. And the last straw was when they started making these kids wear masks in gym. And I was like, that's it. I've had enough. Like, we need to do something. So, yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
A month and a bit later.
Now, in our province, unlike all the other provinces or lots of them, children under the age of 12 don't have to wear a mask. Are you guys finding that that's not the case in schools, or?
No, actually, my son is in kindergarten, and his teacher is actually making their whole class wear masks. And I think that a lot of these teachers and the schools in general don't actually know that it's the law to have kids under 12 not wear masks. So I just think they're just not aware of the information that's out there.
And that's why we're here.
I get looks sometimes like, why aren't you and your son wearing your mask? And really it comes down to the lack of education from a lot of people, because they are getting bombarded with regular news. So I'm really appreciative for Rebel News, because you guys are speaking up for the other side. And we need that so that all Canadians can make an informative decision on what's actually happening versus just getting it from one side.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you realize you have no mask on? I'm like, yes, tell me something I don't know.
Kathy, you spoke today. You opened up about some of the struggles that your family has had during life with COVID. Did you want to touch on that for the report?
Yes, it's actually quite difficult because I come from a really large family, and I'm the only one out of 10 of us that is on this side. And I even hate saying that, because that word, side, is very divisive. And so I'm working towards creating an event that brings unity, whether you are anti-masker, masker or not. It's just bringing us back to each other again. And I think we've lost touch in that.
You guys, YouTube is trying to get rid of us. They've deplatformed us, and we know we're going to be taken off any second. You have to go to rebelnews.com. We need your phone number or your email so that we keep in touch. What specifically about the masks do you take issue to when it comes to kids?
Personally, it's from a cognitive brain function. It's not good for their developing brains. I've heard stories of children passing out in class, not getting proper education because their teachers are, well, I can't speak to you unless you have a mask on. So denying children of education because of a face diaper, for me, that's where I draw the line. And it's free air. When just a year ago, we were all mask-free.
I am so proud just of each and every one of you for coming out and having the courage to stand up for what you believe in and stand up for your rights. Yeah, absolutely. Freedom of choice. And, hell, we're big health and wellness fans, so we're not anti-anything. We're pro-health and wellness, and we just want to get the masks off these kids and let them breathe and be healthy and well.
It's detrimental to their learning ability, their development, and attention. And kids need to see smiles. They need to see expressions. They need to see. They learn that way, right? Like it's very important, I believe. And a lot of kids just can't breathe as well, right? So it's not stopping this virus. So there is no reason to have masks on kids, especially because kids don't spread the virus as well, right?
So masks, all the COVID-19 measures that they've rolled out since March 2020 are totally inhumane and are here to enslave us according to their agenda. And I say big no to that. And children are still in a phase of development. So it's unacceptable to have mandates that are against children's proper, healthy, natural development. So obviously, as a mother, as a teacher, as a person who worked with children, that's something that I cannot allow.
We've been told a little bit of carrots of freedom have been dangled in front of us. Come July 1st, they're saying, if we can hold our breath for that masks will be recommended for everybody, all ages. So why now? Why still have these protests then?
Well, I'll believe it when I see it. And I mean, the government has given us no reason to trust them. So why would we trust them right now?
Yeah, I believe the same thing. I'll believe it when I see it. I believe that they're giving a little bit of leeway with the restrictions right now, and as soon as the fall comes around, they're going to go right back to where they were before and start mandating things again. So I will not believe anything they say until I see it.
Because it's not good enough. I've seen it where you can present facts right in front of someone's face and they don't know what to do. So for example, I heard over the radio that one of the mask mandates in the States, I forget which state in the US, where the governor specifically said no masks, and then they interviewed people and people were like, well, I don't know what to do, because should I wear a mask? Should I not wear a mask? They're so used to being told what to do. I know it's just been a year, but when you're getting told what to do for a full year, day in, day out, this is why I say to turn off the regular narrative and start doing your research.
Well, that's very simple. They said 2 weeks. It's been a year. So it's very, very hard for any human on earth right now to trust what's been told to us. I do hope that that comes to be, but can we trust it? I can't. I do hope that it happens, but we've been misled, we've been lied to.
So what would you say, the provincial government has said, hey, come July 1st, masks will be recommended. So if that's the case, why not just hang in there? Why do we have to do protests like this?
What do you mean July 1st masks? So they're going to lower
They're claiming that come July 1st, masks will be recommended.
First of all, so the thing is this, we're not listening to them anymore. We're done with them. We're telling them what's going to happen because we're the people. We have the power. There are a few, and we honor them, respect them, but their time is done. So it's basically a game over, and we need to express clearly and fully what we demand, and we demand it now.
It's a free country as far as I know, so far it is. So we want the freedom to choose and we demand parental consent.
They're always switching the goalpost, right? So they might say one thing today and then it's going to be another thing tomorrow. I mean, you look at what they've said and done even so far, I mean, what are you going to believe, right? So I think, you got to keep protesting. You got to keep spreading the word and getting the information out there, regardless of the fact. And then, hey, when we're all at the end zone together, we can all see where it's at that time.
Okay. Parents are useless for the government, right? Once your child is ready to go to school, what is the government telling you? We don't need you anymore. We got it from here. You can go, right? No parental consent. We don't need you. We got your children. We are going to indoctrinate them. We're going to tell them what is science. We're going to tell them what is new education. We're going to re-educate them.
All right, Rita, you're actually a teacher who's had a recent shift in your career. Did you want to touch on that?
Sure, yes. So when I taught online during the lockdown last year, and then when my school said that we're going to start teaching back with masks, I thought, how can I? I teach language, I teach French, I teach English. I cannot teach without my face. And my students really, really need my lips. You know, when you learn a language, you look at the face, the body language, and especially the lips to be able to know how to pronounce. So I knew I couldn't do my job well with a mask on.
Wow, I've never actually heard that explained like that, but it makes perfect sense. Learning a new language without looking at someone's lips sounds insane. Now, have your kids been wearing masks in school or not wearing masks? And if so, how are they being treated if they're not wearing masks?
So my son was wearing a mask. He's 9, and we called the school telling them he has an exemption. and they sort of pressed us a little bit, but ultimately they were understanding. And he didn't wear a mask, but his teacher continues to harass him about wearing a mask. So I had to make a second phone call to the school to tell them that is unacceptable and I will not tolerate that. And like I said, my son is in kindergarten and he's wearing a mask as well. I had to phone the school and tell them that's not okay. And thank God that they were understanding, but more parents have to step up and call the school and tell them, I'm not okay with this, else they're not just going to do it on their own. And the kids don't have a voice, so we have to be their voice.
Yeah. That wraps up the Unmask Our Kids rally in Maple Ridge. We'll follow and see, is this movement going to go bigger? And are kids going to be masked again in school when it comes to the fall? Now, if you haven't already, go check out my petition, especially if you're concerned with some of these issues. Many doctors and nurses in Canada have been intimidated and silenced from speaking out on their opinions about COVID-19. If you go to stopmedicalsilencing.com, you'll find out all about that and be able to sign a petition to make it so that they're free to give their medical opinion. Big Tech is trying to silence us for bringing you the other side of the story, but we're not going to let that happen. Go to rebelnews.com, give us your phone number and your email so that we don't lose touch.